everybody, welcome to a little bit of a Bitcoin prediction. And first of all, I'd like to just remind you all that I'm now on Rumble as well as BitChute, Library, Odyssey. Rumble's really good. I strongly recommend it if you're both uploading and watching. It's really smooth, quite a professional platform, really good. And I think you can also monetize your channel on there. So as you will know, I made a Bitcoin prediction a couple of weeks ago, and you can see the chart here. There you go. You can see this chart is actually for the 6th of October, but I made a prediction for the 1st of September when Mars was conjunct Saturn there in Virgo. Saturn is at 21 degrees of Virgo, and Mars was over there on the 1st of September. And I said that that was an indication there was going to be a sudden drop, and quite a substantial drop, like a 15 to 20% drop in value of Bitcoin. Now, previously, as I demonstrated in my last video, when Mars triggered that sensitive point, there were these kind of falls. Now, it took actually a lot longer than I expected. It didn't happen on the 1st, the 2nd, it actually, the 1st was on a Wednesday, and it took until the Monday night for the drop to start occurring. So that was quite slow. I didn't expect that. However, the magnitude of the drop was what I expected, because it went from around about 53,000 down to 44,000, which represented a substantial change. Kind of edged up to 47. Now it's hovering around 45.5, 46,000. So I want to look at what it's going to be doing next. So the reason I think why I didn't have the big drop immediately on the 1st is because Venus at the time was in such a position that it was absorbing some of the negative impact. So the next thing that's going to be happening, as this chart is for the 6th of October, by the 6th of October, Mars has here reached 13 degrees of Libra, where it will be squaring the Sun at 13 degrees of Capricorn of Bitcoin. But before that, a date to watch is the 16th of September this year, obviously, when Mars has moved to square Pluto. So it'll be 1 degree of Libra. It'll be squaring Pluto, and on that day, or possibly this between the 16th and 18th, there could be another fall back, because there's still a correction going on. I think Bitcoin is really going to take off after the 6th of October, but there's still a correctional phase where it could fall back. So on that date, it might fall back to maybe 40, back to the 44 mark, possibly as low as the 41. But the next date to watch is around the 23rd. Now, last time it didn't happen on the date, but usually when I've looked at the Bitcoin charts, it pretty much happens on the day when the conjunctions or the angles are exact. So on the 23rd, Mars will be at 5 degrees of Libra, squaring Mars, and at the same time, the Sun will be at 1 degree of Libra, squaring Pluto. Now, when the Sun has been triggering Pluto in the chart, there have been falls. And when Mars has been triggering Mars, there have been falls. So we've got a double whammy. So maybe the 23rd is a more significant date when we could see a fallback. I don't think it'll go as low as 37, because it's been very bullish, the market actually, and there's a lot of dollars flowing in. So it's unlikely it'll go far. So, but possibly it can move as far as 37 or maybe 41. So look out for that date. And then the final date to look out for when it could be quite bumpy is the 6th of October, and that's when the chart is drawn for. That's when Mars and the Sun are squaring the Sun in Capricorn. I don't think the Sun, in terms of transit, is going to have much of an effect, but Mars squaring the Sun definitely will have a dampening effect. So look out for quite a dramatic pullback or volatility around the 6th of October. So the 16th may be a pullback, but maybe only 2,000 or 3,000. 23rd, 24, around there, a more significant pullback, and then again some choppiness around the 6th of October where there could be a pullback. But it's a bit, all those dates a little bit like elastic, whereas it can jump down but jump back up quite quickly again. After the 6th of October, I think we are in for a good ride, and things moving in a positive direction. Bitcoin may be hitting new highs for this period, because strange enough, just to mention, you know, in May when it took a dive, because it was really flying high in like 65,000, and then it took a dive, that was when Jupiter, which you see is now retrograde, moved retrograde conjunct Venus. It really didn't like that for some reason. That triggered the falls in May. Jupiter retrograde conjunct Venus. So Jupiter still retrograde. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Jupiter turns direct and re-conjuncts Venus. That could be a big shot in the arm, a big shot up. So I'll keep watching this. Please watch those dates. Let's see how it goes. I just have to issue a caveat. These predictions are for entertainment purposes only. Please continue to use your MACD, your inverse Fisher, your RSI, your stochastic, your RSI, Connor's RSI, Bollinger Bands, moving averages. Please continue to use all of those, and take what I say with a pinch of salt.